truth will make you free, and the truth is being revealed to you today. So for a brief review, we now know that Sodom is actually located in northern so-called South Africa, according to the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency right here. And here is a pinpointed location that's right here. And then from there, we also found out, according to this, that Alexandra Gouting right here is actually known as Gomorrah to some of the local residents and is not that far from Sodom, as you can see right here on a map that's located very close to Pretoria and Johannesburg. And then we also took a look at the Tswang crater, as it's commonly known, and we've proven with scripture that craters is what? The fire and the brimstone that affected Sodom and Gomorrah back then. It would have looked like a so-called asteroid. And not only that, but not only is this all within the same close proximity and the same region, but it just so happens to mean place of salt in the Tswana language. And not only that, but we know that Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. Taking a look at the map today and pinpointing all three locations as we've done before, these coordinates are the coordinates for Sodom that's located right here, and then you have the actual crater reserve, as it's commonly known, located right here, not too far from Alexandra, aka Gomorrah, according to the residents. Again, everything in close proximity. And by the way, the fire and brimstone that took place here was what? It was 300,000 tons, according to one source, or well over 600 million pounds, about the same size as the Empire State Building. But now we have one more witness, because remember we told you to keep this in mind, how Sodom is a what? Canaanite city, and we already showed you and shared with you how what? The land of Canaan, according to dictionaries in different places and ancient maps, is actually in southern Africa. So we already have that established as a witness. But what about Gomorrah? Because this lets you know that this is a city within the Jordan Valley. The Jordan Valley. Well, do you see Jordan on ancient maps that's located in so-called South Africa, and even a map of the Jordan River in so-called South Africa today? Well, let's see, because this map was featured in the documentary, and as you can see right here, there are a ton of scriptural locations in this map alone from 1905 in so-called South Africa, as you can see right here. You even see places like Hebron mentioned, Bethany over there, but you see Jericho right here, and then you also see Jordan over here near Bethel, commonly known as Bethel. And isn't it very interesting and suspicious indeed how you see Jordan over here, how you see it near Pretoria and Johannesburg, while the same region in the same area that what? Of Sodom, Gomorrah, and of the Tswang crater, so-called. All within close proximity, all within the same region. Very interesting and suspicious indeed. Is any of this a surprise or a coincidence? Now, in the documentary, we also covered the importance of what? Of pools and fountains, just like in scripture with what? The pool of Bethesda. And we also even share with you ancient maps of Bethesda and the pools that are nearby within the same region nearby Jerusalem as well, in southeastern Namibia, as it's commonly known today. But this map from 1864 shows you what? Fountains and pools, a scriptural match, just like lions along with jackals, because we know, according to the word of our Father, that what? That the real scriptural land would be inhabited by jackals. And then you see Jordan right here, which is more towards the west of so-called South Africa. Wow, very interesting and suspicious indeed. We see another map that shows Jordan as well. But that's not the only thing that these maps are showing, because now we're going to show you the Jordan River that's pinpointed in so-called South Africa today. But it's very interesting how it's hidden, and the only way you're able to see it is if you really zoom in, because Google Maps will not show it quite freely. But it's interesting because now I'm showing you this right here, and there's a reason that I'm showing you this wildlife reserve. You're going to find out it's right in the border between Lesotho and so-called South Africa today. Now, Now again, here is that crater reserve, which is what? The fire and the brimstone, the place of salt. And by the way, it was a stony one. So what? Brimstone, place of salt, Lot's wife, a pillar of salt around the same areas of the Sodom region and Gomorrah that's located not too far, aka Alexandria. But what happens when I zoom in on this region? We're going to do this together just so you can see as I continue to zoom in and in and in. This is what you're going to find. Again, you have to keep doing it, and as we keep doing it, you're going to see it come up, but you have to keep zooming, and this is what you see. You see the Jordan River right here within this area. Is that a surprise or a coincidence? Could this be the scriptural Jordan River? Could this be where the events of scripture took place, where the Messiah was actually immersed, or commonly known as baptism? Is this where it could have happened, within this region, within so-called South Africa, and definitely not that fake Jordan that they're selling as a country, and not that fake Jordan River either. But if you keep scrolling, and if we keep scrolling here, you'll see the what? Jordan River, Jordan River. And if you keep scrolling, it keeps showing Jordan River, Jordan River. And if you keep going, Jordan River, the river keeps going and keeps going. But the better question is, why is this not showing up on actual Google Maps? Because if you zoom out, you have to zoom all the way in before it pops up and shows anything that's near this wildlife reserve. And once again, if you zoom in, you'll be able to see it once more right here. And if you keep going, you'll be able to see exactly where it goes. And it still keeps going. I'm just going to keep doing this until it changes into another name. But I just found that very interesting and suspicious indeed to note. So again, could this really be the true location of the leftover remnants of Sodom and Gomorrah? Could this really be ancient Sodom and Gomorrah that you're currently looking at, this area, this region of this so-called crater of what? Fire and brimstone and the effects of it. Could this be the leftovers of it? Is all of this a surprise or a coincidence? You decide, and continue to seek Yahuwah and his true son Yahusha for even more truth. This is Truth Unveiled here, saying as always, Shalom.